Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to talk about the dimensional border. We're going to talk about which dimensional border I think you should be pushing, which one I think you should be farming, and which one I think right now should be the most important for players. So let's go ahead and dig in. So as always, as we do talk about in these videos, there is sort of a mixed priority, right? Natrum's going to drop an earring that gives Earth attack, which is going to be very powerful, right? Potentially best in slot for an Earth build. Frozen Laboratory is going to drop an Ice necklace, which is going to be very powerful in a water build. And then Fiery Mount Know-How is now going to drop a Fire Ring, which is going to be one of the better rings in the game. So where do you start? Because there is a scaling level to these, right? You are going to unlock, for example, Natrum Tier 4 before you unlock Fiery Mount Know-How Tier 4, right? So when do you start? When do you start pursuing these? How do you clear these? And which one is the best? And I'm actually going to say that Fiery Mount Know-How is the best for me. And I'll talk about why. And the why is because my fire weapon is the best weapon that I have. My 4-star fire weapon is the weapon that I have set in my main slot. It's the weapon that I use in PvP. It's the weapon that I use pretty much universally in almost all of my secondary slots as well. So when I see a ring, like the ring that's available from Volcanord, that gives fire attack up, and that is a 4-star that's going to be relatively easy to awaken, that's going to be relatively easy to max, I see pretty much an increase in power for my PvP capabilities, and this is really important for me. Almost all of my attacks in PvP are going to be fire-based because I equip a fire-based weapon, I use Meteorite, and then I have multiple buffs as a rogue. So for me, auto attacks, basic skills, and Meteorite are essentially what I have going for me as rogue. So anything I can do to increase that damage is going to help me in the long run. So when I look at Volcanord Ring, I think this is going to be probably one of my best in slot PvP rings that I'm going to be able to get. Also with the Dimensional Border Pass, I am going to easily be able to access this to get Awakening High on it really quickly. If you do follow the pass, you are going to get up to Awakening 4, I believe it is, almost, which is great. Assuming you get one copy of it, which I think you will. So it's just it's a win. It's a win for me. I am excited for this. The one drawback is that you do have to have level 62 to farm tier 2, and tier 3 is level 82 and tier 4 is level 100. So this is going to be not as easy to farm as Natrum, and I think that's really clear because it's the highest tier to go, but I think it has the best equipment reward. So when we look at the Dimension Border Passes, they're almost all universally the same. They just all change depending on, which monster it is and how many rings you want and what the recipes are, so on and so forth. So for me, I haven't bought any yet. They're about 3,000 diamonds each, but you get refunded about 800. And I haven't bought any because I'm in no rush to, but now I kind of have incentive to buy it, especially now that my alts are hitting level 60. I'm going to have some extra diamonds floating around. So I figured this ring will be a good investment to grow my character. Now, when we look at the other rings in here, or the other equipment, Frozen Laboratory is probably the one I would not recommend the most. And the reason I wouldn't recommend Frozen Laboratory is, while yes, it is almost literally the same, except it's a water element, there are a lot of really good necklaces in the game right now that you can get relatively easily. Specifically, you can get the Ardor necklace from doing Ardor, and that's pretty much the exclusive reward from doing Ardor. So you're going to end up getting that reward anyway. You can also get the Silverbeard necklace, which is going to be really good. Both of these are Legendary Plus necklaces, and both of them kind of, in many ways, will have higher stats. They have better effects than just adding raw water attack damage. So while the water attack is really powerful and really good, in the long run, you may not be able to kind of sustain and make a case for building this, except for like interesting situations in PvE where you are running a main water build. Now, if you're wanting to run Natrum, Natrum is interesting because Natrum unlocks tier 4 relatively early at level 87, and I'm kind of curious to see if the drop rate is affected at tier 4 for 4-star accessories and other items. I am very curious. The only real difference that we ever see is basically we see a difference in soul stones and kind of the essence that is dropped. So I am curious, but I think Natrum earrings, you do have a case for making them and making them good. We of course have the legendary plus earrings that you can get from Field Boss as well. I haven't gotten those yet. And I feel like you kind of have to decide what you're crafting for. So for me, I'm currently trying to craft for Ardor accessories. That's what I'm crafting for. I want to craft for the Ardor neck. That's my goal. I can't afford to spend and craft on other necklaces or other earrings right now. It's just too much gold for me. You guys can see I have 750,000 gold right now, and the only reason I have that much gold is because I'm saving it to make a gummy video for you guys. Like, gold is hard to come by. Like, yes, you can get it relatively easily, but it is also, if you're spending it in 50,000 chunks, it is very hard to come by. So I do think you could make a case for going Natrum first as well. I just happen to have a fire-based weapon as my main PvP weapon. It is going to increase my PvP damage against other players, and I think overall it is just going to be the right choice for me. I think it's going to help me avoid building right now a new legendary plus ring, and it's going to let me be able to focus on earrings as well. I may come and get Natrum's earrings second, but I really want to get a different pair of earrings that are going to affect my main build first, before I worry about Natrum's earrings, because Natrum's earrings are really only going to be good. Like, these are all really only good for mono element builds, and that's kind of how I am treating them. It's an exception that my fire element ring is going to be best in slot for fire and PvP. That's one of those rare exceptions I think you will find in this game, and maybe that's the case for you if you do have like a really powerful earth team. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you in making your decisions on what field boss to chase. I would highly recommend you get all the puzzles first. I think that's really important before you jump in and kind of focus on a piece of gear. And I'll see you guys all next time. Please drop that subscribe button. I love the subscribes. I've loved the Kuni community. I am trying to hit 20,000 subs, so it would really help me out. And I'll catch you guys next time.